and now we're going to have the DNA for Life, as Rosanna mentioned. And the person that's going to be doing the DNA for Life, or the natural laws, is Patrick. Patrick is with Tanglewood Conservatories. Tell us just a quick bit about what you do there and why you do it.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So I'm the director of manufacturing here, and my primary role is to oversee both the production of conservatories and the engineering behind them, as well as the installations.
Okay, so tell us what you have for us today with the DNA for Life and how that can help us convert prospects faster.
Sure. So, the first question is, what is the DNA for Life? And, the DNA for Life is made up, there's so far about 500 plus natural laws that we've discovered. And basically, they're truths. So, for example, the law of gravity. If you jump out of an airplane, you're going to fall to your death. But if you have a parachute, that the natural law of the parachute can overcome gravity. So the natural laws do actually work together as well, and they intermingle. So it's really critical in order to know these natural laws and be able to use them to your advantage. And so I was thinking about the question, how do you use natural laws to convert prospects faster? And when I was thinking about that question, I said, well, if there was just one natural law that I could use or could talk about today that you could use, right after this seminar is over, what would that be? And what I came up with was I would think that the 3 steps to anything is probably one of the best. And what I thought was so great was what Rosanna, she actually got into it a little bit when she was talking about asking great questions, because the 3 steps to anything is first doing an examination. Just like a doctor, you're not going to give a prescription or, present a solution to someone without doing a good examination. Second is going to be your solution, and third is when you're going to implement it. So in the examination phase, asking key questions is critical, and that's Rosanna was talking quite a bit about it, and it also ties back into what Cheryl was talking about with personalities, because it's one of the great questions you can ask is the questions that determine what that person's personality is. If you can understand them at a very, very deep level, then you're going to be able to figure out a better solution for them. You need to think about, what other great questions you're currently not asking your prospects, and what it is that if you were to ask them, that you would gain more insight into who they are and more about what they really need. You don't want to present solutions that they don't need, and you may have found yourself where a lot of times people will jump into the solution or even the implementation phase before they've done a good examination. And a lot of times, not only does that make your converting them slower, but sometimes you end up losing the sale completely. So doing an examination, I think, is a critical step. Now, of course, the solution, and you may want to offer multiple solutions based on what you've learned from your examination. That's certainly very important. And then you get into your implementation, and you want to make sure that what you're implementing, you execute it very, very well, so that you can generate, clients for life, generate referrals, and that's going to come in, through your implementation after you've done a great examination. So if I had to go back and say, what's one natural law you could use, start using it right after this seminar is over, is, use the 3 steps to anything. Not only will it help you convert your prospects faster, but it can work in a lot of different areas of your life. So I'd recommend everyone out there take a look at the natural laws. You might even, if you start thinking about it, discover a few of them yourself, and use these natural laws to your advantage. They're out there. They're just simple truths that if you know what they are, you're going to have a big advantage over your competition, and you're going to be more successful. So with that, Kevin, I will turn it back over to you.
Wow, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. We got a couple of minutes here. Does anyone have a question for Patrick and how the natural laws can help you convert more prospects faster?
So how about never quit?
That's a
I
good
think
question.
that would work. So you got to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Cheryl. You know, one of the natural laws about never quitting is, you know, you could get to the point, I think, where sometimes you might get frustrated. Maybe you're in the process of, you know, trying to convert a prospect, and you're running into roadblocks or you're hitting objections. And so never quitting, continuing to move that forward, drive that forward, that's going to help you get those prospects converted faster, I would agree.
And Patrick, what makes people frustrated, and what can you do to help them get through that?
Well, my understanding, at least for me, frustration is generally caused by, you know, how much you care, your level of expectation of yourself and your level of expectation of others. And my suggestion would be is that you raise all of those things up higher and become even more frustrated. Because you'll find, I think, at least I have, that if you raise that up, you'll start to make breakthroughs. You'll start to maybe jump to a new dimension or get through those issues faster. Where if you just kind of let those things simmer or settle or go back down, or you lower your expectations, try to lower your frustration level, you're not going to get through those and be able to solve those problems. Does that help answer your question, Jennifer?
Perfect.
Good. We have time for maybe one more question. Does anyone have another question for Patrick and the natural laws?
If there's 500 plus natural laws, how do you know which one to apply?
That's a good question, Mark. I'd say it really depends on the situation. I think the first step for me would be you have to know them very well, because if you don't know them, then how are you going to know what natural law to apply? So that's probably would be step one. Beyond that, I don't know. That's a tough question. Does anybody else have any suggestions?
I was thinking that when Mark asked that question, I was thinking that maybe the natural laws that you are aware of, you kind of bunch them on your own with what type of personality they would person would be drawn to. So, like, say one of the natural laws, I'm trying to think of one, but if you just put them in the 4 different personalities realm, and so when you're dealing with an analytical, you bring that natural law up, I think that might help.
Wow, that's great, Rosanna. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. And, you know, I'm just going to jump in here. For those of you that want to find out about the natural laws, you can go online. The free resource is available to you right now. It's DNAforlife-laws.com. Again, DNAforlife-laws.com. And you can go there. When you look at the website, you're going to see a big banner that says Natural Laws just below a picture in the middle, and if you click on that, you're going to see the natural laws. And I think it's a great suggestion, Rosanna, to go in and start reading some of those natural laws and watch the videos for the ones that we have videos on, and start really figuring out, based on what Cheryl said about the personalities and what Rosanna said about the DNA for business, and you can now start incorporating your own ideas with rather incorporating the natural laws into your own experiences, and that's going to be a big help. Again, DNAforlife-laws.com. It's going to be a tremendous resource for you.